Welcome back, Wolfpack. Verlis here, and Billy showed this battle to his friend. His friend was like, yo dude, send that one into Verlisify, this is mad. Well, I don't think he said this is mad, but he told him to send it to Verlisify. I'm here receiving it, and let's see if this one is epic enough to make it to Fan Fridays. So what I do is I screen a lot of battles, just record it anyway for that first take, see how it goes. Just in case you guys don't know how I do Fan Fridays, and then I just kind of pick the best ones of the week. Sometimes the weeks are off, sometimes the weeks are hot, sometimes I can't come up with enough. I try to fill it into 2 more Tuesdays. It's just how I go. I try to find some awesome battles, see if I can entertain you guys. And here we go. Leading off, we have Sableye into Heatran. Heatran going with that Fire Blast. Sableye avoids the attack, and Heatran was actually able to dodge the confusion on the first turn, but it hits itself this turn, and then Sableye goes for that Foul Play. And I see Confuse right here with the Foul Play combo, so my guess is that Swagger is not usable in this, which means it might be a Smogon battle. That's alright, but if it was Foul Play with that Swagger, Heatran attacking itself and then Foul Play doing extra damage, that would have been a dead Heatran right there. Regardless though, there's a switch into Charizard to eat up that Fire Blast, and it does a surprising amount of damage right there. I wasn't expecting a lot, even with the not very effective hit, but that was a very strong hit from that Heatran. And it goes into Charizard X, so now it's just going to do less damage and go into that Earthquake. That is a good night to Heatran. With that 4 times weakness to Earth, and Earth being so common, or ground with that Earthquake, didn't go so well. So now we have Porygon 2. Porygon 2 is a tanky mofo. Just, wow, it has tough claws now. That's very interesting. So Charizard Rock Slides Porygon 2, and let's see how little damage it takes. Yeah, that's Eviolite Porygon right there. Can Toxic Stall you into oblivion, and the cycle begins. So Charizard becomes poisoned, and now Porygon is just not taking damage. Here's the thing though, Porygon, it can have Charge Beam is how I like running mine, but it's also just a very annoying Pokemon because it can use Recover. Yeah, so this might be my set, because I have like Charge Beam, Psyshock, and then you just kind of roll off the Toxic into Recover. So it gets that special attack boost, and now this thing is a terror. Charizard's going down to Poison, and Dragon Claw, will it be enough right there? It is not. There's the Recover coming in. Could have used Flare Blitz. That might have just like secured a KO right there, but Dragon Claw with that tough, well, no, I think it might have been a KO. Yeah, Charizard was dead anyway, so you might as well have gone for the Flare Blitz. Don't know. So now we have Umbreon. Battle of the Tanks has begun. So Tri Attack instead of Psyshock. I just like the coverage. But Tri Attack with that +1, not doing a lot. Remember, Umbreon being a super special defense tank, and it's Toxic versus Toxic, is my guess. So Porygon 2 becomes badly poisoned, and it would kind of be funny if Umbreon becomes badly poisoned. So we're going to see how this one falls into place. Toxic right back, as I predicted. And what's Umbreon going to do to catch up with this? Because using Curse in this situation isn't that great. Synchronize kind of gets wasted, and it does go for the Curse. So right now, Curse is it's probably the best option, honestly, unless you have Protect. Because what else are you going to do except try to get some offenses? I just don't see it as like the craziest option, because you're not you're building defensively against something that's hitting you special attack wise. You are gaining that offensive bulk, but with that Toxic setup, just try to take it down with the attacks is my thought. So it withdraws Porygon, and here's where the Curse might fall into place, into the Breloom. So that's interesting. Goes for the Payback. That's not going to do a lot of damage though, because Breloom is that fighting type. We get that Leftovers recovery, we get the poison ticking it away, and Breloom can't be poisoned. We got most likely, because you just see that Toxic heal. Oh, Breloom with the Swords Dance. This is going to get ugly. So Umbreon going for that Toxic. Is it a Poison Heal Breloom? That could have been a mistake right there. Or do we have, I believe it has Effect Spore or Technician. I don't remember what else it can have. So it takes the poison damage. Very interesting. So let me go and look this one up really quick. Because I'm pretty sure like Toxic Heal is one of the more desirable things you want. It does have Effect Spore or Technician as well. Might be a Technician. It could be really good with that Mach Punch. So there's the Mach Punch. Would have gotten a huge boost onto that Umbreon, even with the +1 defense. So Good prediction right there. And I guess that could have been a really good scout, you know, if I poison it and it doesn't get healed, it's going to have Technician with that Mach Punch, and I should be afraid. So now Breloom is confused. It has a huge boost from that Swords Dance. So here comes Bullet Seed. Yeah, that Swords Dance is really messing it up. So best case scenario right now is that Breloom hits itself next turn. One hit KOs itself because Breloom is an incredibly frail Pokemon. And now we have Umbreon coming out. So this is where it gets kind of ridiculous. Umbreon's going to be on a fresh Toxic Timer, and Porygon 2 is going to be on a fresh Toxic Timer as well. So withdrawing in from the Breloom, losing those attack stats, but also getting it into that interesting position because, like, if it hit itself, game over. If it hit Umbreon, game over. Too much of a risk right there. And here comes the Moonlight. So it looks like Umbreon's in a better position right now just because timers are refreshed on both sides. They both have a recovery for half their health, but Umbreon's at full, so it's going to win this battle regardless. And now it just comes down to kind of crazy Toxic Stall. So Charge Beam misses, has that 90 accuracy. It's somewhat unfortunate sometimes. Uses that payback, and I think, yeah, Porygon's going to be able to survive this one. Going into that recover next turn, most likely. And we got a little bit of Toxic Stall back and forth right now. But I think this one will end up going to Umbreon, just because Umbreon has recover, Breloom doesn't. It does have a sick Mach Punch, and I think that's what Umbreon is getting ready for right now. It's like, okay, I know it's last Pokemon, going to use Curse, going to recover. Porygon 2 is ticking itself down right now. So as long as I can endure that hit, it'll be okay. And Porygon 2 doesn't go for the heal. Actually tried to go for the chip damage, and now it starts getting a bit more interesting. So Breloom comes in, and wonder how this one's going to go. I think Breloom's going to go for that Swords Dance, just not mess around, that would be the best option. Ooh, going for the Mach Punch though. See, bad call. If you went for the Swords Dance, maybe even another Swords Dance on top of that, you could have just kept Mach Punching it out, but I think Umbreon had it either way because that's a full heal in the end regardless. Leftovers comes in, helps with that poison. And at the end of the turn, you know, these Pokemon are going to be at about the same amount of health. I'm going to just watch this get really interesting. So Umbreon's taking a lot more damage from poison. Breloom with the Bullet Seed instead of Mach Punch. I guess deciding that, you know what, Bullet Seed is definitely going to do more damage as long as it hits, I believe, 3 times, maybe even 2 times. It would be a lot more damage right there. So Umbreon going for that Moonlight, just doing as much as it can to out-survive this Toxic Stall. So Umbreon gets a lot of hit points back, gets that Leftovers recovery, which is keeping it a turn ahead, I guess, because the way that Toxic works is it increases 1/16 by every turn. So you essentially buy yourself a couple free turns with that Leftovers, or at least like that one extra turn because you're not taking the full damage from the beginning. So there's the Mach Punch yet again. Moonlight comes in, and yeah, it's so close right now. Next turn like really decides it. So here's the Leftovers, and Breloom's going down to Poison next turn. Umbreon's probably going to go down to Poison next turn anyways. It's just that clutch. Now, if Umbreon had Protect, that'd just be the win right there. But, ooh, where does the health fall? Mach Punch, once again, 13 health on Umbreon. Umbreon using Moonlight, just securing, just double checking, making sure everything's okay for it. And it looks like it should survive with a good enough amount of health. Breloom goes down, and that's just a crazy battle right there. So that was, man, that's good right there. There's good predictions, good plays, like really just entertaining battle. I enjoyed that. So that is a battle you have to see indeed. Good call, Billy's friend. I like that one. That was really, it's just one of those battles, you know, you know at some point, like, one decision, one mistiming, one tick of damage, and any person can win, but you're stubborn enough, you know, it's like, if I don't give up, I still might have a chance, instead of just calling it quits. Billy didn't call it quits, and Billy outstalled the Breloom. If you guys enjoyed the video, hope you all get ready for one more video for Fan Fridays.